All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Rob Rainwater live here on another Manic Monday. And lucky enough to have a special guest with me today. I said last week I was going to bring someone on, a special guest. And Jer is the first person I thought of, to be honest with you, when I was thinking about this. I wanted to do something on motivation. And he's the first person I thought of. So glad to have you, Jer, and be a part of the Facebook Live deal.
Totally happy to be here. Pumped up, man. I love this stuff. It's awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome. So why don't we start with, Jer is some Bessler Auto Parts. So why don't you give us a little history about you, your experiences in the automotive recycling industry, just a little bit about your background.
Yeah, absolutely. Been doing this for about 28 years now. I started in the industry as a driver, delivering parts. My dad worked in the salvage business for a lot of years as well and said, "Hey, we need another driver. You need a job." I said, "Yep, let's go." 9 months after that, I ended up in the sales department. Lucky me, right? And from there, I kind of got hooked. Decided work for mom and pop shop at that time. We ended up selling out to Greenleaf, so I worked in the corporate world. Worked my way up to kind of the general manager of that store. And then I went kind of the opposite way again. Went back to mom and pop after that. Got some great corporate education from Greenleaf. I'll never discount that, but I was ready for a change. Went back mom and pop. Then I got back in kind of corporate a little bit as well for about a year and a half with OmniSource company, which I got to see a little bit different side too. Got to see the scrap side and got to see the stayed in the auto parts business. And then kind of things took a turn and I ended up back with Bessler about almost 6 years now. Opened a new store for them in the Northeast Ohio area and really have been focused on developing this market. Started, kind of as just a salesperson / managing my own little hub and distribution center. And then we ended up buying a full-fledged production yard where I'm the general manager and I'm also the sales manager for our entire team across all the businesses. So
it's funny, you said, I hear the term constantly. I fell into this, into this world. Yeah. It's so many of us kind of fell in. I started as a part-time driver as well. You fall into this and for some of us, it hooks you in, right? It kind of hooks you into it. And I always felt it was the people. Right. It was the interacting as sales and interacting with customers, but interacting with a team. And what's always impressed me is the ability for the recycler to always just get it done. Right. All the problems, the loader breaks, the people calling sick, all the things that can happen to it. Hailstorms, snowstorms, hurricanes, heat, cold. We always seem to kind of get it done. And that's where I thought of the motivation factor. I mean, we just came off this booming March for most recyclers. You're going into April, which is historically a slower month for most of us. But not just, this month-to-month transition with the motivation, Jer. I'm kind of looking at what, Bessler's has a philosophy, right? You guys have a culture that you've built. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring you on and what I'm interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. John Bessler, our owner, is completely seduced by culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I'm a 100% believer. We've kind of gone down over the past couple of years this path of using EOS was kind of the start of it, which is entrepreneurial operating system, which kind of puts all your meetings in a certain cadence. It really is develops your whole business around starting in that really a cadence and a culture and then we start leading into it, doing surveys and really just focusing on our people above everything else and making sure we have the right butts in the right seats. And it's been awesome. We had to make some hard choices along the way. And even longtime family members that were in the business were all of a sudden not a fit anymore. And it was hard. John had to plow a heavy plow to get through some of that stuff, but it has worked out for the best. The most recent change was even myself. I was pretty much just the general manager and kind of dabbling on the sales side again when a year ago here. And we made a choice by doing lots of predictive index we're using, which is, kind of personality traits, which you're very familiar with, Rob, and looking at whose natural tendencies fit some of the right seats. So mine ended up being, hey, we have another guy in the sales manager position, but we think you might do a better job just because of who you are and who he is. And turns out it was a little rough there at the start, but turns out it was true. And just a different style of leadership, a different style of managing the team has really helped us have the right person in the right seat. So.
You brought up surveys. Can you go dive into that a little deeper when you said surveys?
Yeah, we're using a company called Amplify, the engagement survey, which is used nationwide by a lot of different companies. And basically, you poll every single employee. They get it in their email, they can get it on their phone, and it's got a series of questions that kind of exactly that. They measure your engagement, measure how you feel about your management team, measure how you feel, trust issues, all kinds of things like that. And we started in about the 76th percentile of all businesses that are using it. We ended we've been doing that about a year and a half now. We ended this last survey in the 96th. We are now highly engaged. So before we were moderately engaged, and now we're highly engaged. And the nice thing is when we were at 76, it gives you all these suggestions based on how your people are feeling. And it gives you things to work on specifically for each, whether it's department or whether it's the entire team is not getting something. Like a big one was meaning. People didn't understand our meaning, our purpose, our cause, our passion. So we really, really continue to focus on, this is why we exist. This is your part in that program. And people are buying in. People are really buying in. It's awesome. I'm excited for our next one.
Yeah. And I guess for anyone that watches this, as kind of a Manic Monday watcher, knows why I had Jer, why he was my first pick, because you hear me speak about expectations all the time. So, again, drill in a little further. So tell me what that has done for hiring, retention of the employees, that you're keeping there now, and how much more productive are you as a company because of working yourself up to that rating?
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? We've seen, we've kind of been building this team, again, like I said, for the past year and a half to 2 years to really groom the right people, the right seats, and getting people working to their potential. Because I think it's no secret that happy employees are way more productive, right? And bad seeds can just turn the whole apple cart. So we had a record month last month, which a lot of people did, but we did it with the same amount of staffing without some major breakage or the wheels. Before that would happen to us and the wheels would be coming off the bus. We'd be scrambling and freaking out and going, oh my gosh, how are we going to get this done? Working billions of hours of overtime and all that kind of stuff. But man, I tell you, just the right people with the constant focus on teamwork and getting it done, we handled it. And it's been awesome. And nobody wants to go back, right? Everybody's like, give me more, give me more, give me more. And free autonomy, giving people the ability to make decisions where before it was maybe they felt like they were even micromanaged, things like that. Hey, if you make a mistake, we'll talk about it. But we believe you have the skill set to get it done. So get it done.
And, you talked about some of the difficult situations, right, and difficult employees. And it wasn't that maybe they just couldn't do the job. They just didn't fit the culture.
Yeah.
Right. So am I understanding that right? So it was, we want to bring people in that fit, not as just you have some experience, but the fit is just as important.
It's more important. It really is. We have found that even people that can perform at a high level, just when they're ruining the team, we've let people go that other people in that department come up to the manager and say, what the heck took you so long? Why Why were we holding on to that guy? And then everybody steps up, everybody rallies and comes behind it and just gets it done, picks up the slack, or we find the next person in line and we get them transitioned and trained. And the training process has been really awesome. I hired 2 salesmen in the last 6 months just for my department. And through the interview process, we have a lot of fun pitching this culture and pitching this is what you're coming in to work for and work with and who you're working with. And people kind of are like, yeah, right. Both of my guys that started in the sales department are like, oh my God, you weren't BSing us, right? This is really how it is. Yeah, it really is, because we're just not putting up with it. We'll give the people the chance to conform if they're outside the box, but if they just repeatedly have no desire to do that, then we don't have a spot for you.
Happy people perform,
yeah.
Right? Happy people stay at their job. Happy people want to come to work in the morning. I mean, I know it's not cupcakes and rainbows and kumbaya every day at Bessler, but of a majority of the time we have that common goal and we know what our part is. That's the basis. And I see, and Jer is a part of our sales managers groups that we hold once a month. And we see so many people that get caught up in the day-to-day operations and the I guess, putting out of just the fires all day, not being proactive and working towards this and giving people responsibility. It's hard to change the culture when it becomes that.
Yeah. It's constant work. There's no let up. There really isn't any. It's not like you can go, oh, we got this program in place, now just let go. It's constant reinforcement in every single meeting, in every I think the biggest thing, Rob, honestly, is before there was always all these side meetings and people talking about people and not satisfied with this, not satisfied with that, but everybody was afraid of the conflict, right? Nobody wanted to talk it out or bring it out or feel like, they were putting somebody else down. Now in our meetings, we mine for constructive conflict, and we appreciate when someone has a difference of opinion, because we want to vet it out and we want to work it out. And nobody leaves the meeting feeling like, oh my God, they were just tearing me down. They think, okay, I didn't know that was a problem. Let's fix it. So,
right. What's the solution?
Yeah.
And it's just, and again, you said it's work, right? It's not every day. Everyone's, thrilled, but it's work. But the focus is that you're looking at it and you're working towards something and you're constantly doing that. So it's just so important to have it. And it's, team building, all those things, but most importantly, it gets the job done.
Yeah.
And hopefully productive. So listen, Jer and I said we wanted to keep this to 8 to 10 minutes. And we said that probably it would be 2 hours. The way because we're both passionate about this industry and we're passionate about what we've done. And I think that's why we relate together. But I just wanted to get you on here, Jer, to get a touch of it. I wanted other people to hear, what you had to say. I feel that being a part of those sales managers groups has been a tremendous asset, not only for me, but for all the parties that are in there, getting some peers together, to talk about how we do this and continually doing this is just, it's the fabric of what's making it be a great team, right? And leaning on some of your peers. So, but I thank you immensely, Jer, for hopping on for a few minutes. And I have to say, this has been my favorite one because I didn't have to do all the talking. And I look smart for bringing you on. So, but everybody, I appreciate Jer's time. I appreciate everyone that's watching this live. Questions, comments, all that great stuff. And hopefully, we'll have Jer on again and we'll bring on some other people and just talk about the industry and what makes it click.
I'm definitely interested. Anytime you want to do it, I love this kind of stuff myself, and it's pretty much the new way of business. I think culture eats strategy for breakfast. So.
Absolutely. So everyone, thanks again. Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Got to kick it off with the theme music, Jer.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.